Throughout all of recorded history, there are many stories in every culture there is, going all the way back to the beginning, about how there are angels or angelic beings or supernatural beings that interfere or do all different kinds of things in the lives of people. One of those things is to save people from harm. And there's stories from every culture there is about this, going all the way back, thousands and thousands of years. Here is a modern day story of angels saving people. Let's listen to it.
That she wasn't coming out of the vehicle. The roof had been crushed, and there was not much room, maybe less than 8 inches or for her to get through.
In a split second, the impossible situation turned into a divine rescue.
When I reached out, we grabbed each other's hands. There was another set of hands that grabbed our hands.
As I saw Cody's hands, I saw a set of just white hands around his. As he started pulling me through, it was just a burst of white light.
Before I knew it, we were both outside the vehicle.
Sherry, who had been standing next to the SUV, witnessed the whole thing.
God sent an angel to pull Lisa out of that car. And I saw this bright white light. And then I saw these hands reach past me where there was no room. And they grabbed a hold of Cody's hands and Lisa's hands. And all of a sudden it was like, boop. Cody and Lisa were on the grass next to me.
Okay, so you just heard about that modern day story of angels saving somebody from a car wreck, right? An impossible situation. And then what did they say? They said that they saw white hands, and they said they saw a white light, and then at the end the lady said, and boop, the next thing she knew, she was right next to her. So instead of her being inside the car, boop, next thing she knew, she was right next to her. Okay? Keep that in mind. The best she could do to describe it was, boop, she was right next to her. White hands and a white light. An angel saved a girl from a car, right? Okay. Now, this piece of video is probably is the most extraordinary piece of video I have ever seen, and it is, I'm going to show, basically prove that it's real. What it is, it's a cam, apparently from China, and it's just sitting up here recording the traffic. Okay? So let's go ahead and play this, and then I'm going to analyze it for you, and we're going to go over it, and I'm going to show you why this is real. Okay? And what you're about to see is you're about to see an actual event that people have been talking about for thousands of years, but nobody's ever gotten it on camera before. First of all, you know, cameras are only, 150 years old, and cameras that people walk around with are only much less older than that, and videotapes are even much less older than that, and cams are even much less older than that. This is all brand new stuff, and now we're starting to see things happen. And it's being leaked. Okay? Because this stuff's happening all around the world, so something from China like this would be leaked. Okay? Alright. You're about to see something that is so real, it looks phony when you first look at it. But I'm going to show you that it's real. This is the most incredible thing you have ever seen in your life. Alright, now let's watch it. Comes down, a guy comes in from the right, super fast, white light happens, and then they reappear right here, you know, in less than a second, fraction of a second. Then he or she walks off. Some people say it's a she. Walks off. Okay? This guy comes over and sits down. Now let's take a look at this again. This time I'm going to manipulate it a little bit here. Okay. Now I want you to notice something. Notice the truck as it comes down, alright? Notice that the truck does turn to the left. It turns to his left, or to our right. The truck is turning to the right. Or he's making a little bit of a left turn. And watch something else. Notice that he's coming really fast down the road, and then he stops right there, okay? Watch. He's coming really fast down there. I mean, it's hard to tell how fast, but if I had to guess, I'd say he's, you know, approaching 60 miles an hour. And then he stops fairly quickly. So he really had his foot in the brake. He was probably locked up right there. Okay? What I want to point out right there is that he is locking up the brakes and he is swerving a little bit, okay, as he tries to avoid. But what happens is when you lock up the brakes, even if you're turning, it still won't turn because you're skidding at that point. That's probably what's happening right there. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to stop so quickly. See? He came to a pretty fast stop right there. He had it fully locked up. Okay. So I want you to notice that he is trying to miss something. He's locking up the brakes and he's turning the wheel. We can establish that through the evidence of the video itself. Okay? Now, this guy comes in from our right here and comes up to this guy, and white light comes out and then engulfs both of them and makes a round circle. Okay, now watch what happens right here. They're going to reappear right here. And it's so real, it looks phony. But just watch it. Boom, they appear right there. Okay? Now, I'm going to show you that you are looking at something completely 100% genuine. And it's funny because it's so real that it looks phony. But let's analyze it further, okay? Now first, let's analyze the obvious, okay? Let's look at the guy's reaction. Okay, the guy stops the truck, he gets out, he runs to the back, right? He's looking underneath the truck because as far as he's concerned, he just hit a guy on a bicycle and they're underneath the truck. Okay, somehow, I don't, you know, he knew that he was going to hit them because he was going right for him. He couldn't swerve out of the way. He tried to swerve, had the brakes locked up. It wouldn't do anything. Boom, he's going straight ahead. He smashed right into him. You know, now he's checking the truck because where are these people at? They must really be hurt. Okay? Watch his reaction. And then he doesn't see him, so he looks up. And then he looks over there kind of surprised, like... And then watch. He's looking over back at this guy. He turns, looks back over at him. He doesn't know what's going on. He's totally stunned. He's totally stunned, okay? Now, let's go back and analyze it some more, okay? Now, I want you to notice something. You see these marks here? That's his skid marks. And they weren't there before. We can go back and establish that right now. Watch this. See how there's no skid marks right there? Now watch this. We go back. Now we're going to establish that There are skid marks right there now. He was skidding. Now I want you to watch something else. Let's go back. Look at that circle right there. Okay? That was the circle where the white light was. Now watch this. There is also a circle right here, right where the white light was. In both cases. Now watch. As the time moves forward, it disappears on both of them. Okay? It disappears within a few seconds. It's gone. But for a few seconds, that circle is there. Okay? And it appears right after that circle happened. Okay? And then watch, it dissipates. Watch the circle on the far right. See how it dissipates and goes away? About the same time the one right in the middle does as well. They both dissipate at virtually the same time because they are both happening at virtually the same time. Okay? So you've got, what that is some type of, you know, we can speculate, but let's just say it's, okay. I'm not a physicist, but I'm a philosopher, so I know a lot about physics. I would speculate that what you're seeing is some form of plasma, but not like we would think of a plasma now. Some type of highly manipulated and controlled form of plasma from its very fundamental level, and completely controlled and manipulated. So it's something much higher than, you know, a ray of light, for instance. Something much more complex than that, and higher and controlled than that, and utilized in a certain way. So it's like a plasma, but much more complex. But anyway, this is just a residual from that phenomenon, whatever it is, whatever that form of plasma is. It's a residual, and this is a residual, and then it goes away, right? Okay, so we can establish now that both of these things are happening right there on the screen, right in front of your eyes. Now watch something else. Take a look at this guy who does this. Okay, this person. Take a look at their hands. Notice really closely that you'll see that their hands are glowing. Watch. Look at the person's hands. See how they're glowing? Look at that. Look at his hands. You can see the light moving and changing around their hands. There's some form of light similar to the light that he just created, or that person just created. And now it's a part of their hands still. Now what did those people say in that video? White light and white hands. Person has white hands that are glowing. Okay? Now look at what they do. They put their white hands that are glowing inside their pockets. Now they no longer have glowing hands because they're inside the pockets. You see? So the person comes in, creates a white light, white hands, and poof. Next thing you know, right on the grass right next to me. Poof. Next thing you know, safe over here. You are seeing a real life happening that people have been talking about for thousands of years, who have never gotten to see before. And you are seeing it right in front of your eyes. With white hands, a white light, a plasma residual on both areas. A vehicle that's skidding and trying to move out of the way. A guy getting out and completely acting 100% real. He thinks the people underneath the car, underneath the truck. And then he's looking over there. See him stutter step? Look at him. Look at him stutter step. He doesn't know what's going on. He's like 100% shocked. You could just tell. Look how he stutter steps. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know if he should go over there or if he should go back to it. He's just totally confused. Now, how many times have you heard stories like this, and the person comes to save the day, and the next thing you know, they're gone, right? You look over to thank them. Thank you for saving my life. Where did that person go? How many times have you heard that, right? This person just walks off, and they're gone. Now watch this. Person puts their hands. There's this guy limp over there, as if, like he can barely stand up, because he's just, he's shaken up about it. He's completely shaken up about it, and he's walking off. This is some heavy stuff, I'll tell you. Some heavy stuff. This person comes in basically at the speed of light, it looks like. You see, everything that is going on is being watched. And you say, well, why would this angel save this person and not somebody else? Well, that would be too much speculation for me to speculate on. But I can tell you this, that it does indeed happen. People are saved all the time. I myself was saved. So, I have intimate knowledge of this because it happened to me. So, I'm trying to... So, you need to realize that these things really do happen. And they happen to more people than maybe you'd realize, and people just don't want to come forward and talk about it, because when they do, people generally think, oh, that person's crazy. Even if they're a Christian and going to church, they think, oh, that person's crazy. It shouldn't be like that. People need to open up their eyes that this stuff really happens, this really goes on. And you're seeing a real case scenario of it right here. There's no way this is faked. No possible chance. They talk about it was just being done for a game commercial. Listen, this is just government cover-up. Okay? This is the real deal. All you have to do is analyze it for yourself. Okay? This person just comes in. It's an angel. You got to understand. Even the Bible, it talks about how an angel can take the shape and form of a person, and you wouldn't even know it from somebody else. You would not know that this angel was an angel. You would just think that they were a person like you and me. That's what angels can do, and they do that. You see, he just took that form for whatever the reason. It wouldn't be worth to speculate why. This is not, Flash. This is not some superhero. It's an angel doing good works. Maybe saving one of God's own. No reason to speculate. You don't need to speculate that far. It's just simply a supernatural event taking place, and a cam is picking it up. And this doesn't happen every day to everybody, and not every cam in the world is going to pick it up. And even if they did, they wouldn't release it. So, but we've got this one. This is real. This is 100% real. With the glowing hands, this guy freaking out, looking underneath the truck. I mean, that's the first thing that you would do. And he's probably doing before. See when he runs up, he was already looking underneath the truck. He was looking all up the side of the truck and didn't see anything. Then he looked at the back of the truck. And he's like, well, if they're not underneath the truck, where are they? And then he looks up. And he's like, what? Huh? What? He has no idea what's going on. He's looking for somebody totally, smashed out in the ground, run over. And so he's just walking around, not really knowing what's going on. Okay? The more you watch this, when you first see it, you think, oh man, that is fake. But the more you watch it, the more you realize it's not fake. It is the most incredible piece of video I have ever seen. And whenever something real like this comes out, they'll come out to try and discredit it. Because I'll tell you something. When they do that, it's very powerful. Because a lot of people will fall for it. A lot of people will fall for the discreditation. It works. That's why they do it. And that's why, this is kind of like a test for everybody. You have to make your own decisions. You have to stand for yourself and not follow the crowd. It's up to you whether you think this is real or not. Use your own judgment. I'm pointing out the best I can from what I see. This is the most incredible piece of footage I've ever seen. Comes in, he's got glowing hands. Mark is left right there. It dissipates. Mark is left right there. It dissipates. This guy comes out. It is the most real piece of footage I've ever seen. It's amazing. We're getting to see a real life miracle right in front, a cam picking it up. Now that is what I call amazing. But you know what? There are many more videos out there, and knowledge is increasing. I'll be back with more videos.